This is Carlin on 98.7 ESPN.
Lightning round Friday night. Carlin, 98.7 ESPN, 800-919-3776. 800-919-ESPN. Get on the open lines now because we will hit them hard. We will get them going quickly. Of course, the live video stream is up and running at ESPN New York 98.7's Twitter handle, and of course, ESPN New York's Facebook page. You can comment there. We will get your comments into the show. In addition, on Twitter at Chris Carlin, by all means, and on Instagram, that guy Carlin. The Jets have a new partner with which to deal, whether or not we realize it. What am I possibly talking about? Let's clarify that, my friends. And the man to do it for us is Steve Young, who appeared on KNBR in San Francisco yesterday.
If they can figure out how to get Zach, that's their number one first choice. I just don't know how they get it done. The Jets have committed to Zach and recruited the family. I mean, I don't know how that gets undone, but, look, a lot can happen. I think Zach would love it. The family would love it. Nothing would make anyone happier. I think the 49ers, that's their unstated first choice. So that would be wonderful. If it can happen, they'll figure it out. And I agree with you. I think he's ready to play. Now, there's going to be some growing pains and everything else, but he's ready to play. He's a settled kid. He's not going to be overwhelmed. And the way that the 49ers, the team that is going to be handed him, I believe he's kind of a generational talent. And that's more than just how he throws the football. It's just his demeanor and his capabilities. Even though he's younger, I really believe in the kid.
So the San Francisco 49ers want Zach Wilson in the worst way. And Zach Wilson's family and potentially Zach wants to be with the 49ers. Now, I don't think this is going to become an Eli Manning situation where he says, I'm not going to the New York Jets. I'd be surprised if that happened. Having said that, this is another opening for the Jets that we didn't necessarily consider before. So the 49ers reportedly did not call the Jets about trading for the number 2 pick. They instead moved up to number 3. Is it just because they assumed it was a done deal and the Jets were not going to do anything but pick Zach Wilson? Because to me, that's just not doing your job. If you're the 49ers, you have to at least inquire. Maybe Robert Saleh led them to believe that. Who knows how that happened? So if the Jets are so locked in at number 2 and continuing to play this way, it's so smart on their part because somebody that we didn't necessarily consider to be a possibility to trade with now is. Now, maybe this is what the Jets kind of wanted all along. Maybe they wanted to potentially take one of the other quarterbacks. Maybe they do love Justin Fields. Maybe they like Mac Jones a lot. Maybe they wanted to go in that kind of direction. If, in fact, they do want to draft a quarterback to replace Sam Darnold. So this is not necessarily about Sam Darnold staying in this instance. This is about the Jets getting a lot in return and still being happy with what they got. They're taking a page from the San Francisco 49ers playbook. You'll remember the 2017 draft. The 49ers had the 2nd overall pick. Cleveland took Myles Garrett, and the 49ers, it was thought that they were locked in on Solomon Thomas. But they did enough to scare the ever-loving daylights out of the Chicago Bears. And so the Chicago Bears went to the 49ers and gave up a 3rd and a 4th round pick in 2017 and a 3rd round pick in 2018 to move up one spot from 3 to 2. If the Jets are under the impression or under the evaluation thought process that Zach Wilson is veritably equal to Justin Fields and they're comfortable with either one, why not get more out of it? We had been talking about sliding back to 8, sliding back to 9, thinking about the Carolina Panthers, thinking about the Denver Broncos. The 49ers made this move all the way up to 3, and they gave a lot to get there. If they have a chance to get the guy, Do you think they're going to pass on that? Another double sneeze, another killer. Now, giving up a second-round pick is not out of the realm of possibility. Think about that for a second. The Jets think Justin Fields is just as good as Wilson, and they don't let people know that. And they're good with taking Justin Fields. Why wouldn't you give the 49ers an opportunity to trade up to the second pick and say, you know what? You're in love with this guy. You want him there. You've already done what you've done to move up to the number 3 spot, and maybe you're comfortable with one of the other guys. But if you really do love Zach Wilson, if you listen to Steve Young, they do, and Steve Young would know, how about you give us your second-round pick this year, and we'll slide back one spot? Wouldn't that be a brilliant move? Of course it would. Look, the Bears did it, and the Bears are not a well-run organization. They gave up a lot. We understand that, and they obviously completely whiffed on Mitchell Trubisky. But you know the kind of players that these picks turned into that the Bears ended up giving up? Just in very different ways. But the actual picks, the numbers, the third-round pick that year, 67, that was traded to the 49ers. They ended up moving it later on, shuffling some more picks, getting another one the next year. You know who was picked at number 67? Alvin Kamara. If the Jets go and get a second-round pick and still get a quarterback, hey, all the better. Opportunities knock. This is what we've talked about, folks. The idea that you are not just locked in on one situation. You really, truly have so many different options. And if Joe Douglas has everybody believing that he's their guy, like you hear from Steve Young, clearly the 49ers believe that. But if San Francisco wants him so badly, wouldn't you give him a chance? How badly do you want him? I would not give the Wilson family or Zach the opportunity to say, I'm not playing for the Jets. That could be that situation, right? Could be that he doesn't want to come to the Jets and that he wants to end up in San Francisco. He doesn't strike me as a guy that's going to try to pull a power play there. We never know for sure, but he doesn't strike me as that guy. So maybe, just maybe, you look around, you give San Francisco a chance. And you do it maybe a couple of days leading up to the draft just to ensure that Wilson is not dictating where he ends up. 800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN. Open lines right now. Your chance to get through in the lightning round. So let's hit it. We are here until 7 p.m. with Knicks basketball. The Knicks and the Mavericks coming up at the top of the hour. Let us start with Ray in Long Island. Ray, what's cooking, dude? Ray! Good start. Michael in Hoboken. Michael, what's going on with you tonight?
I like what you're saying. I agree with everything you're saying about how the Jets should handle this whole situation. But to get that second round pick, I want Nick Bosa.
Oh, you're not getting Nick Bosa.
No other pick. That's it.
You're not getting Nick Bosa.
They're in love with him.
They're not that in love with him. Listen, they moved up to 3. I get, Michael. I get it, okay? They moved up to 3 with the thought that they would be comfortable with whoever they got at 3. You know, whoever they have rated as the third best quarterback in this draft. You don't make that move without being content if that's where you end up drafting, because they gave up 2 first-round picks. They're not going to give up 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and then Nick Bosa to move up one more spot. That's not going to happen.
It's a quarterback. It's their franchise quarterback. And
I understand.
In love with the guy.
Michael, I get it. Thanks for the call. Ain't happening.
All right.
Nice thought process. It's intriguing. You want to think about that. But there is no chance in hell that that's going to be happening. None. Zippo, zero, not happening. 800-919-3776.
It's Carlin.
I went to this doctor, and he told me I swallowed a lot of aggression, along with a lot of pizzas. Pizzas.
On 98.7 ESPN. We're starting the Michael K. Show an hour earlier every day. Trust the K-ster. The show will now start at 2 p.m. I want fun, so make note, adjust your schedules, and plan your day.
I got the read ready whenever you want.
Your favorite radio show, the Michael K. Show, now begins at 2 p.m. every day.
I do trim my body.
Sounds good, Chris. Get you ready. We'll let you know.
ESPN.
Chris, it'll be after this one in 30.
Pay. When you want to cash out your winnings, you don't want to wait 2 days just to get the go-ahead to withdraw your money. That's why Sugar House created Rush Pay. With Rush Pay, 80% of withdrawal requests are approved instantly, meaning you'll get your money faster. Why wait? Get your cash when you want it. Bet with a winner. Bet with Sugar House Sportsbook at playsugarhouse.com or download the iOS app. Playable in New Jersey.
Here we go.
For older gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, friends, baseball's back. Time to watch the game with a cold drink and the action on FanDuel Sportsbook. Never bet on baseball? Well, now's the time because FanDuel is letting new users swing for the fences risk-free. Little baseball jargon there. You're going to get up to $1,000 back. If your first bet doesn't win, where do you get that? You don't get that anywhere else but FanDuel. And once you have an account, you can get up to $25 back each day if your same-game parlay bet falls one leg short. You can do that every day. This way, you can combine multiple baseball bets for an even bigger win. FanDuel Sportsbook is America's #1 sportsbook. The app, simple to use. They've got great odds, all different betting markets, unique bet types like that same game parlay, and always on promotions. When you win the FanDuel way, they will pay you your winnings in as little as 24 hours. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Sign up with the promo code Carlin. That's FanDuel Sportsbook promo code Carlin. 21 and older, present in New Jersey or Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. For risk-free bets. Refund issued with non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Spring is on its way. Almost time to roll out the green carpet. Start planning now with innovative help from the Home Depot. Use our project calculators to figure how much grass seed you'll need, or just the right amount of mulch. Our online workshops and how-to videos will get you up to speed fast, from outdoor fire pits to planter projects. If you're ready to roll, so are we. Download a mobile app to get started. Bring on spring with help from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
The Michael K. Show is on.
Jeff Passan. If you happen to be in the New York metropolitan area during the Super Bowl, and Michael and I both invited you to a Super Bowl party, who would you choose?
Who's got the better food?
Michael.
Why do you say that?
Because I'm sorry, Don. His last Super Bowl party, the food that they didn't use because the party was canceled, it was sent overseas and fed like 3,000 people. His spread is out of control.
Don't miss the Michael K. Show weekdays at 2 on 98.7 ESPN.
O'Reilly Auto Parts is here to keep your car on the road with the right parts, advice from our parts professionals, and our free loaner tool program. Your local store has more than 80 specialty tools available for your next repair. Refundable deposit required. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and ask about our free loaner tool program or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly. 1 minute.
Okay.
Auto Parts.
Fresh bread in the morning, at lunch, at dinner. Fresh Italian bread, natural, no preservatives, family-baked Calandras bread. Can't you smell it? From their bakery to your local supermarket. CALANDRAS, bakery.com for a store near you.
Tax season can be a big headache if identity thieves steal personal info from your tax forms. LifeLock helps protect, monitor, and restore your identity. No one can monitor all transactions at all businesses, but you can save
What's
up
up,
to
my
25%
people in the
off your
stream? I'm
first
sorry I
year at
didn't hit you sooner. What's going on? Stevie.
If I'm Danny Johnson, my owner believes in me. You have to have somebody believe in you. I feel like that's more what John Mara is trying to do here. He may have questions, but not by saying, I'm not going to go to the media and say, well, I have questions about our quarterback or no comment. No, I believe in Danny Dimes, and I want to see how Dimes stand by. Owner says,
All righty.
my quarterback, when so many other owners or GMs have said, he's our quarterback for now.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Weekday mornings at 8 a.m. on 98.7 ESPN.
Carlin, 98.7 ESPN. 800-919-3776. Lightning round. Knicks, top of the hour, taking on the Mavericks. The Michael K. Show celebrating its new 2 p.m. start time by giving away $10,000 in the month of April. Starting Monday, 2 p.m. hour. Be listening for the KK Sounder and be ready to call in to claim $500 cash each weekday. It's all from your home for the hookup. 98.7 ESPN. Let's go, Lonnie, Long Island, next on 98.7 ESPN. Lonald. I'm great. How are you?
Always great to hear you. Congratulations on your new time slot.
I appreciate that.
You deserve it. You do a great job. I love you, brother.
Thanks.
Hey, question I have. I like what you're saying about, for one slot, but the only problem with that, and Zach Wilson is that real guy, man, I don't want to lose that. I want him. If he's going to be my quarterback, I'm kind of scared to move back that one spot and lose him.
But what's the whole key to that? The whole key to do it. Listen, Lonnie, you do not make the move if you believe that Zach Wilson is the only guy. You make the move if you've got Zach Wilson on an even par with Justin Fields or Lance or Mac Jones, one of those guys. If you feel like that's the case, that's great. Then that's what you do, Lonnie. Thanks for the call. You move back one spot, you get a second-round pick, and you take who you're comfortable with next. I think it's a terrific idea if you are locked in on drafting a quarterback. If this is really what the 49ers are dying to have, well, let's find out. Chris, Queens, next, 98.7 ESPN. Christopher, what do you got for me?
Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm outstanding, brother. How you doing?
Awesome, my man. I wanted to pitch this to you. If the Jets would trade down to Carolina, right? And is there any way they could get McCaffrey in the 8th pick?
Ooh, pick? I don't think Carolina would trade away McCaffrey quite yet. It's an interesting point. Huh?
And then with the 8th pick, you take Pitts if he's still there?
I don't think Pitts is going to make it to 8. I have to tell you, I don't know that Carolina's going to do that. McCaffrey was out all of last year. I think it's more likely that Carolina would trade away 2 first-round picks to move up from 8 to 2 in the next 2 years. In addition, with the 8th pick this year. So it's not the worst idea in the world. I don't think it's going to happen.
Jets do need a running back. That's why.
And he is outstanding. And thanks for the call. They do. Absolutely. And what a win it would be if you actually were able to get him. But, I heard something the other day about Carolina being willing to trade him or something. Honestly, go look at his numbers the first few years. Yes, he was hurt last year. McCaffrey's off the charts great. Does everything. The guy can rush for 1,000 and have 1,000 receiving yards. Victor's in Connecticut. He's next on 98.7 ESPN. Victor, what's up, baby?
Hey, George. Good to hear your voice, man. First time caller.
Or Chris.
Appreciate
Yeah,
you
sure.
And all you do.
I get the George Carlin stuff all the time. It happens. What are you going to do, Vic?
Sorry, Chris. I didn't mean that, man.
That's okay.
But anyway, my question to you is, why are the Giants still hanging on to Evan Ingram? That's my first question.
First answer to that is they still believe too much in his ability.
Post that rock box on MTV back on the day.
Yeah, I was a Yo MTV Raps guy, more with Ed Lover, and the Ed Lover dance I believe it was on Wednesdays. But that's just me. All right, we got problems there. Anyway, point is, they're holding on to Evan Ingram because he's got immense talent. And they're not ready to give up on that quite yet. That's why. And it's not all that surprising to see that be the case. You can't be surprised by that. The Michael K. Show's Drop Madness concludes this Monday. Got to have your dials tuned into 98.7 ESPN at 2 p.m. Be ready to cast votes for the last matchup at TMKS ESPN on Twitter. Drop Madness presented by Wendy's, where quality is our recipe. Wendy's, we got you. Jack in Manhattan, next, 98.7 ESPN. Jack, what's up, buddy?
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Hey, Yankee fan, today, Mr. Joel Sherman had an article in the Post saying the Yankees are off to basically displaying all the warts, blah, blah, blah. Forget the fact that it's one game. Can you make the case to me that they're not going down that road again, or do you feel that they may?
The road of not hitting in the clutch and being a home run only
Not
team?
hitting in the clutch, not having right-handers, blowing leads, leaving men on base, all the kinds of things that we've had our hearts broken with for years now, not getting to the getting to the altar, but not getting married.
I think that the thing is that you brought back LeMahieu, and there seem to be a couple of guys who have worked more on not necessarily being strictly home run hitters. I want to give it some time to believe that they have a chance to be better at that. I'm skeptical. I have a healthy skepticism toward it. And I know how much Brian Cashman talked about in the righty-lefty thing, that he just wants the best players out there. And I understand that. But there actually is some rationale to it. There is science to it. And so Jay Bruce being in there playing first base, does that excite me? It really doesn't. The Yankees don't have great left-handed hitting. Aaron Hicks being a switch hitter, I'm supposed to get fired up for that. They don't have great left-handed hitting. And I don't know how much longer you can continue to hope that that's somehow going to change. Like all the right-handed hitters who are great hitters are going to get it done.
And the other thing that doesn't get talked about enough is it's not we haven't won a championship in 10 years. We've got one in 20, over 20.
Yeah.
One in a generation now.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. For the amount of money that's been spent, that is absolutely absurd. And I understand Hal Steinbrenner being frustrated with the fact that he has to watch the Rays go to the World Series last year with a minuscule payroll and guys who were throwing 98 out of the bullpen who were making $500,000. That's frustrating. But I have to start looking at Brian at some point here, don't I? If you don't get home, it's because you don't have the right players on the team. And this whole baby bomber concept is ridiculous at this point. Thanks for the call. You can't continue to hope that you're going to get a different result when you keep running the same guys out there. Nobody doubts what Aaron Judge is capable of when he's healthy. Nobody. Nobody doubts what Gleyber Torres is capable of. Nobody doubts that Gary Sanchez at his best can be a terrific player. I don't trust Gary Sanchez as far as I can throw him, and I got to tell you, earlier today on Twitter, the John Boyce guys at Talking Yanks podcast, and listen, I love John Boy. I think he does a great job. I think all their breakdowns are awesome. Love it. But they're talking about where are all the Gary Sanchez haters now after opening day? Stop it. Just stop it. You're embarrassing yourselves when you talk about that. You should know better when you've seen the inconsistency over the last few years of this particular player. Please don't throw one game at me. I mean, that is just fanboy stuff. That's absurd. Let's talk later in the year. I'm perfectly willing to admit I could be wrong about Sanchez later this season. I don't think I'm going to be. I don't trust him to be consistent. I hope that he is. But I think there's equally as much of a chance that later in the season that you could be talking about Gary Sanchez getting DFA'd as Gary Sanchez having a massive year. Equally as good of a chance. Mike in Morris Plains next, 98.7 ESPN. Mike, what's up?
Hey, Mr. Carlin, good to connect with you. You do a great job, man.
I appreciate that, Michael. How are you?
Good. Look, I'm a big Jet fan myself, and just give me a second here, but I can't get over the fact on why the Jets are in such a hurry to replace their quarterback. I mean, the guy's 23 years old. You're giving him a fresh situation here under LaFleur and a possibly heavy play action offense that Shanahan was running. I mean, what was so special about Garoppolo? But he got it done. He had the talent. He was able to move out of the pocket like Sam can. And why don't you this seems like the best situation for them is to trade down the number 2 pick to whoever suitor it is. If I go to 8, if I go to 9, who knows? Maybe I even go crazy and go down to DC and give them the pick. But you build up picks for next year. I can give Sam another. I have the option on Sam's rookie contract to give him another year. And if he flops, then I go into the draft next year with 2 number 1s, maybe even 3 number 1s if I trade down the second pick.
Hey, listen, I don't disagree with the thought process, and thanks for the call. I want to stockpile picks. I want to get as much as humanly possible on this team that is completely lacking talent, okay? But this new wrinkle, this idea that if the Jets are just as happy to get Justin Fields as they are Zach Wilson secretly, let this play out, brother. Let everybody believe that you are in full bloom love, to quote Dave Gettleman, with Zach Wilson and make them sweat. All right, that does it for me. Mavericks, Knicks coming up next. Eddie and Brendan on the call. Pat O'Keefe has got the pregame show going to tell you if the Knicks are getting a little help to get Derrick Rose back tonight. It's next. Carlin out. Have a good weekend.
At 98 point.
Thank you, Carlin.
All right, Jacob. Great job, brother.